I go even further than that. You know, and again, this is something I've been saying. You know, it's these stupid, weak pussy attitudes that you people have, that you're forcing other people to have, is why your kids are killing themselves. You see, when you don't when being called a hoe is the worst thing that has happened to your child, by the time they turn 12, yeah, that's why they're fucking hanging themselves in your walk-in closet. You understand? Because your child is weak. Your children are weak. Everyone has to fucking get a trophy. You know, we can't hurt anyone's feelings. No, you're making them pussies so that when the rest of the world, who doesn't live in your fucking fantasy land, gets a hold of them, you know, they are now being traumatized to the point where, oh my God, someone put an ugly picture of me on the internet. What are my options here?
Kill myself.
A bullet.
Yeah.
Gotta put a bullet in my fucking brain.
Well, that's that helicopter parenting. I mean, and we've adopted this helicopter shit. I mean, to where, you know, I remember seeing this funny thing, you know, back in the days we were allowed to play with the PSL, the public schools and the public parks and stuff. They had these, you know, they would give you during a certain summer months or whatever, they would give you like a wiffle ball bat and a frisbee and, you know, things like that. This is before, you know, video games and all this kind of stuff when we were children. And, you know, they outlawed all of that. You can't do any of that kind of stuff anymore because, you know, the kid, you know, God forbid, might run after the fake plastic baseball and trip and cut their knee. As if that's not something that, you know, can happen when you're a little person getting used to your body. And they're trying to so overprotect these kids that they're not conditioning them for the real world. And I'm a believer of corporal punishment. I don't believe you're supposed to be breaking kids' arms or hitting a child for any infraction. I don't believe that. And everybody that does, you know, karate chopping their kid in the clavicle and snapping it in half, I'm not an advocate for that.
And then that's the thing that, you know, you stupid fucks always do. You know,
go to the most extreme.
Right. One thing equals all things. Yeah. The worst possible thing. If it comes in anywhere in that category, if, you know, being a woman beater is number 20 and you're at a 0.2, you're a woman beater. You know, if hitting a kid is at 20, I mean, being a child abuser is at 20 and you're at a fucking 0.2, you're a child abuser.
Yeah, automatically. So,
you know, there is no looking at circumstances. There is no looking at history. There is no looking at facts. No, you people don't care anything about that.
It's
because
like all or nothing.
That takes too long because that'll cut into your airtime. That'll cut into your microphone time. That'll cut into the time you have to write up these fucking scathing articles that, you know, you can put into the papers to get fucking people to read them. You don't care about fucking truth. Just like Goodell doesn't care about fucking football players. He doesn't care about their fucking safety and none of that shit. I had to educate a young lad today about the NFL.
Young?
I was like, yeah, he's 28. I told him, I was like, do you remember when the NFL used to sell greatest hits videos?
Remember that dude with the claw?
Yeah, the videotapes, you know, before fucking downloads, before fucking DVDs, we had videotapes. I still have that. I think they're in my mom's garage.
Yeah.
The NFL's hits, where they were fucking selling the bloodthirsty hits of the NFL.
People being carried out on stretchers. This dude named the Claw, whose technique was to rake across your face with the steel claw.
You know, this Sunday, you know, go on ESPN Countdown and wait till they have their come on, man segment. You know what came before? Come on, man. You got jacked up. What does that mean? That was a black term. What did that mean? It means you got fucked up. You got abused. And the ESPN crew, most of them former players and coaches, were picking the hardest, most ferocious,
decleating, bone-jarring
knockouts. And they were laughing at it. Because actually, it's funny.
Not anymore. You know? Can't do that anymore.
No. But you see, that was under Commissioner Goodell. Commissioner Goodell cares about the safety of the players. So much so that he had the NFL sluts, which is the ESPN.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they're totally in the pocket of the NFL.
Totally in the pocket of the NFL. Putting on their fucking best and hardest hits and laughing about it.
Now, what do you think about it? Because see, another thing that I find so disturbing. I know we're going all over, because it's a talk show and we're allowed to do that.
It's our show.
It's our talk show, yeah. The fact that these same players that were engaged in some of these hits when they were active, who were as analysts on the jacked up segments, now currently today have to look at all of this kind of stuff and adhere because they don't want to be fired and go, oh my God, that's so terrible. This is so awful. That person should never do this.
Or the best they'll say is, well, this is the new NFL.
This is the new,
and these are the rules you have to abide by.
It's so obvious and transparent that this is not genuine. They've totally removed any genuine emotion from the people that they hire, as analysts. You can't tell the truth whatsoever. And that coupled with allowing those fucking people that stand up and preach all of this fake, ridiculous nonsense to have that platform without condemning them, like, man, shut up. You're crap. This is what it is. It's not that. Stop lumping it all in together. These people don't get that. They get a chance to go and Twitter and tweet and all this other kind of stuff, all of this madness and these absolutes. And this is, I for the love of me, I just can't understand how other people can't see all of the stuff that's working within this machine. From the Peterson thing, the response to the Peterson thing, why it's so heavily penalized today as opposed to because they asked a question this morning, if it was last year, do you think he would have had the same? They were talking about this guy coming back in game number 3 until Ray Rice, that video came out. So you can clearly see there's a timeline and the way Goodell responded, and then all of a sudden when public appeal came, he's trying to save face at the expense of this man, and this man does have rights because the collective bargaining agreement is for the guilty and the innocent. It's for all of them. It is what it is. And no one is calling any of this stuff into question. And maybe because it's fear. Maybe because anyone that does come and say anything like that, they're going to be fired. And I can understand anyone that's being paid, but why are these people not checking? I always say the people in the comments or the people on their Twitter lines and all this kind of stuff. They're giving airtime to these people. It's like, oh, he's the devil and he's the worst. No one ever stops and goes, no, he's a man that whipped his child and it went overboard. Okay, it's an isolated thing. There's no past history of these marks and blood and all this other kind of crap. And if you're a child, I know his kid had to go to the hospital because kids are fucking they're like petri dishes. They're always going in and out. And there's no other instance of the kid being ripped to shreds like that. Why don't they call these people and tell these people just calm down? Just calm down. It's an isolated thing. He went to court. He went before the law of the land. They judged him. They told him what he needed to do. He did it. That's it. All of this other stuff is so extra, and these people are allowed to continue all this nonsense. And I said, once again, I'm not for marking and cutting kids up, but I am for whooping that ass.
It's because it's twofold. One, people, again, are pussies, and they're definitely afraid of what other people will think of them. So they won't go to the side of, they won't take the road that less traveled. They won't go to the truth. They won't go to common sense. They won't go to reason. If common sense, truth and reason flies against the face of public opinion.
Current public opinion.
And of course, public opinion is the opinion of the public, and they're stupid as shit. So, and then, like I said, it's the money. You saw what happened to Stephen A. Smith. You saw what happened to Max Kelvin when they dared not toe 100% of the line. They towed 90% of the line, and they got fucking suspended.
They got suspended. And see, and since that's Disney, I can understand. See, for me, I can understand because if they tell these people you can't say X amount of things, you can't talk about that because we're paying you, I can understand that to a degree. It's just when all of the people that are not in direct employ of the NFL or in its subsidiaries are allowed to foster this nonsensical attitude that if you hit your child even one time, you're some demon. Yeah. I remember on television, JJ from Good Times, I'm going back in the days, used to always get a whooping. All right. I remember the Cosby Show. Oh, and I know Bill Cosby now is on, these rape allegations, but I'm talking about before any of that stuff when he was Mr. Jello Pudding Pop and he was the all white America loved him in the 80s. And I remember the show when Theo did something, he said, boy, I brought you into this world and I'll take you out. He literally threatened the life of his son because his son was basing up in his face. I didn't hear any outcry. There was no, oh my God, this man threatened his child and with bodily harm. Cosby Show has to be taken off the air.
You know why? Because, and one of these cats on the radio said it today, it's a new world. It's a new, stupid, weak, imbecilic world.
I don't know what world I'm in, man. I really, when you're young, you think about what you're going to be doing at this age or that age, or how the world is going to be. Will we have flying cars? Will we have this? Will we have that? And some of the things I thought we would have, we don't. And then like these devices like this, I couldn't even imagine this shit. Devices that you have that's small like this, that's stronger than the personal computers back in the 90s and stuff like. It's wild. But this assault on religion, whereas you can't say anything God bless, and that whole thing that blew my mind. I'm not a religious person. The way they're treating religion, you can't pray during football games. Some dude was like, praying. This was an on-field practice. They would, hey, I pray everybody gets through the game, don't get injured or whatever, whatever. Can't do anymore. This whole nonsense about child rearing and no second chances when we're supposed to be, as Stephen A. Smith always references, a country of second chances. I don't know where I'm living. We can't do anything. We can't say anything, yet we're supposed to be the land of the free, and we're supposed to stand for something, yet all I'm seeing every day is restriction, and this fake, ridiculous, hypocritical standard that we all know, if we stop and think, none of us lives up to. Nobody is perfect. And I don't understand. I really don't understand where I'm living.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Like I said, follow the money. That's what they always say. It'll all lead back to money. But anyway, we have to go on to our next topic.
We're trying to make it, baby. We want to make it, baby.